I'm here in Tasmania at the moment, staying at the Tasman Hotel for the launch of the reveal of the Kia Tasman, which happened last night. Glittering event, lots of celebrities, Diesel was playing, awesome. But the real story is about the Kia Tasman. Now, I've seen this in not so much in the flesh, but camouflaged. And you can't actually, nothing could prepare you for when they pull back those curtains to see what it actually looked like. It is completely different to what you would expect. It's completely different to almost everything else on the market. And that's a good thing. I think it polarises people a bit. Well, it did last night. Some people were like, oh my God, what's that? And others are like, I really love that. I think what it's going to do is going to get people talking about it, and Kia can't come late to the party and just do what everyone else has done. And that's a good thing. They've actually done something completely different. I love the fact that it's different. I'm not so sure that I really like the design of it so much yet, but I think it's one of those designs that's going to grow on you as you sort of spend more time with it. So let's have a talk about the actual car itself. There's a whole pile of different models ranging from two-wheel drive through to this top spec XP Pro, which is the real off-road version. You know, there's cab chassis, there's dual cab, which is great. The only one they didn't bring in, which is understandable, is the cab and a half, because it's about 5% of the market. So that's not really, to be honest, worthwhile attacking, while there's a whole lot of other people that do that. So the vehicle itself, let's talk a few numbers about the vehicle. It runs the 2.2 litre diesel engine, which we're quite familiar with out of the Sorento and the Carnival. It runs an 8-speed automatic transmission, similar to what's in those vehicles, with a torque converter on there. They've done a little bit of work on the engine to get the numbers up to about 154 kilowatts of power and 441 newton metres of torque, so slightly different. I think peak torque comes in around about 1750 revs, if it's the same as what the Carnival and the Sorento is. That actually is pretty much line ball with what a lot of the market is. You know, there's a few that's sitting up around that 150, 500 type mark in headline numbers. But the difference with this one, very much based upon the other diesel engines, is that torque comes in, it's really easy, it comes in low, and it makes the vehicle exceptionally drivable. So I haven't driven it yet, but I'm assuming when I do, it's going to translate well to the road, which is great. Some other numbers for this, the tub is reasonably large. It's about 540 deep, a bit over 1500 long and a bit over 1500 wide. It gives a fairly good load capacity, which is great. The two-door cab chassis version has a payload of around about 1200 kilograms. So that's pretty good, but there's also going to be a version of this type of vehicle, the dual cab, with less than 1000 kilograms for the novated lease market, which is great. This particular version has a lot of additional features to it that are for the four-wheel drive, not the least of which is a couple of rated tow hooks or recovery hooks there on the front. And I guess most importantly with this, we haven't got approach, ramp over, departure angles yet, but we do have ground clearance, which is about 252 millimetres, if I remember my press release correctly. And that's pretty damn good, I've got to tell you. So we've got interesting looks. It's a design that's different. There's a couple of clever features in the vehicle itself on the outside. There's a couple of steps at the back, so you can sort of stand up and get into the tub, which is great, particularly as that's a very deep tub. And also one really clever feature in the wheel arches at the back, that's where the actual fuel filler cap is, so it's sort of hidden away. I do like that. Inside, it is typically Kia. Good quality, well laid out. It's got that really large, almost 30-inch screen that has the driver's instruments, all the central touch type stuff, and the little air conditioning controls in the middle. Over-the-air, the latest version of over-the-air updates for the software. The seats are exceptionally comfortable, and there's obviously a lot of travel, especially for someone my height. And we actually had Luke Longley in there last night, who's 7'2", and he was sitting quite comfortably in there. So that's something that's pretty amazing, I think. Rear seat legroom is, as you would expect for a vehicle of this size, it's the same sort of size as the Ranger and the D-Max and the Hilux, so same sort of rear seat legroom. Again, the rear seats are probably more comfortable than most of the others on the market. And there's a couple of clever features like the centre console where you rest your arm. It will fold forward into a nice table, which is good, and there's a lot of under-seat storage in the back seat. So Kia's done a lot of work and a lot of thinking for this vehicle. There's a whole lot more information, but that's in the article that you can sort of access down low. and read through that and get all the information rather than listening to me carry on. But I would like to know what you think about it. What do you think about the design? So put it down in the comments. What do you think about the design? Do you like it? Do you hate it? It's very polarising, but it's certainly going to drive people to talk about it, and that's a great thing. Haven't driven it yet. Looking forward to that sometime next year. Oh, sorry, more numbers. It'll tow 3,500 kilo, 350 kilo in the tow ball. So that sits very much in where the market should be. I really am looking forward to driving this thing early next year. I think the release date for the first model coming in is around about mid-25. So there's a lot of time between now and then. And I think also too, one of the things that Kia has highlighted, they do a lot of Australian tuning of the suspension with Graham Gambold, tuning engineer genius. But they've actually had a lot of input into the actual hard design of the underpinnings of this vehicle, simply because Australia is such a tough market. Now, this vehicle has done many, many hundreds of thousands of kilometres of testing over some of the harshest terrains in the world. And again, a lot of it here in Australia as well. So it's interesting. It's different. It certainly looks different. And I'll keep looking over there because there's a couple of other examples which I'll flick into the video. It's certainly late to the party, but Kia, I think, are going to make a statement when they actually release this vehicle. People are going to look at it and they're going to want to buy it because it is different and because it is a Kia. That's all for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.